Hey everyone, it's Miriam. I am a life and relationship coach. I'm here to share with you today some signs of codependency and really how to understand healthy giving from its source Kabbalistically. When we understand the source spiritually, then we really understand how to tap into giving from a healthy place, from in a holy way, in a rectified way. And then we really know the signs to look out for when we're kind of veering off and when we're not tapping into it from a healthy place. So if you haven't yet done so, please subscribe by hitting on the button below where you'll get notifications of new videos that come out. So giving is something huge, and I feel like there's a huge emphasis in our society on giving, on becoming givers. Now, why is that? Because really, giving is tapping into the fundamental core spiritual energy of the universe. It says that God created the world, Olam Chesed Baneh, that He created the world with His attribute of Chesed, through this attribute, this divine attribute, through the Sphira of kindness, of giving. And God's whole essence is good. It says Teva Hatov Lehetiv, that God, His whole essence, His whole nature is goodness, is kindness. And therefore, He always wants to really do good to us. And God created the world with His intention, the whole purpose of God and actually creating the world, and His whole intention of creating the world was because of His desire to give. He wanted to give to us. He wanted to really enter into a deep, intimate relationship with us. And not only did God create the world with His desire to give, but it says that God is constantly, Hashem mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit, that God is constantly at every moment recreating the world, just like He did in Ma'aseh Bereshit at the time of Genesis, through His attribute of kindness. Now, this is a huge shift in perspective. When we understand that God is constantly recreating the world anew, and recreating the world anew through His attribute of kindness, it really allows us to step into reality and to the fact that at every moment there really is new potential in the world, new possibilities for us, and really from a place of God's goodness, from God's place of kindness, from His desire to give to us, and His desire to have this very close and intimate, loving, connecting relationship with us. And when I really learned this and I really started meditating on this, it's a total shift of how we look at each moment, how we look at the possibilities that really are available to us. Now, it says that each one of the Sphirot is connected to a different one of the elements. Now, Chesed is connected to the idea of water like rain. Rain is constantly flowing down from above to below. And what's unique about rain is it says that every year we have to pray for rain. During prayers, what do? We actually pray for rain. Why is that? Because God wants to not just give to us, but He wants to have this relationship with us. He wants us to step into this relationship and to draw down His kindness to us. He wants us to have this relationship with Him and to give to us, but that we should be the one to, again, initiate and form and bond this close and connecting relationship to God. Now, how do we step into giving? Because it's challenging. It's really hard. We have people in our lives that are difficult to give to, people that we have difficult relationships with. And how do we really step into giving? So it's explained Kabbalistically that Chesed is really the vantage point from up high. So let's say, for example, you're on an airplane. Now, you could be flying up on an airplane, flying up high and looking out the window, and you can be looking out over the Bahamas, or you could be looking out over Harlem, or you could be looking out over a garbage dump, and they're all going to look equally beautiful and magnificent. And that's really the advantage of Chesed, of kindness, that when we want to step into giving to others, we can't really always be looking at the details of everyone, of all their flaws and all the challenging parts of our relationship with them. When we want to step into giving, we have to really look on from that vantage point up high and really look at people's beauty and the goodness that's within every person. Now, at the same time, That's the advantage of giving, but that's also really the disadvantage, because often what happens is that it's so easy to give to people that really don't deserve. That really we shouldn't be giving, because really these people are just taking. They're like taking of our energy. They're like, it's like an energy drain, because we're giving and giving and giving, and it's not really being appreciated. It's not being reciprocated. They're just takers in a sense. And we really see this, that in any healthy relationship, and we have to know this, there has to be a balance of giving and taking, or else it's not healthy, and it becomes a very draining and toxic relationship. And we see this in the word for love in Hebrew. The word for love in Hebrew is the word ahava. Now, in Hebrew, if we always look at the root word, we can see a lot about the essence of the word. So if we look at the root word of ahava, we have hav. Now, the Zohar says about that when a dog barks, he's saying have, meaning take. That a dog, now I know there may be many dog lovers out there who may disagree with me, but really a dog in its essence is really all about the self. It's about taking. It's about feed me, walk me, give me water, right? It's about the self. It's about taking. But what's really it's saying that ahava, which is about love and connecting and giving, has the root word of taking in it, says that in order to really have a healthy, wholesome, real, loving relationship, there has to be both elements within it. There has to be giving and there has to be taking. If we are just, again, giving and giving and giving, then we just become drained. We feel like completely drained and exhausted from our giving. And if we're not receiving from the other person, then that's where unhealthy relationships begin. Now, I speak a lot this about with my teenagers. Like every night I try to tell them, I have a system where everyone helps, at night. Chores, whatever you want to call it, contributions to the house. And I was explaining to them this idea that it's really all about, our home is really about energy, and that any loving, healthy relationships and any healthy home environment, there has to be this reciprocation of energy. Like if one person is just giving and giving in a home, and other people are not contributing to that giving, then they're just becoming takers, and then the people that are just giving are feeling zapped of energy. And that's why it's important for children to do chores and to help every day, because again, we want to create a healthy, loving, healthy home where there's this energy balance going on of healthy giving and taking, giving and receiving. And that's really what King David says about himself. He says, I am a kosi rivaya, I'm a cup that's overflowing. That giving really has to come from a place where we're filled up on the inside. That our giving is really from a place of overflowing. That we are filled up, our needs are met, we're filled up with self-love, with taking care of ourselves, and that we're giving to ourselves, we're receiving for ourselves, so that giving comes from a healthy place. And that's why I'm so into women, really self-care, exercise, eating well, taking care of ourselves spiritually, physically, emotionally is so vital, because then again, the giving is coming from a place of a healthy flow of giving and receiving, and giving from a place of really being filled up, so that we don't become drained, and we're not giving from a place where we're feeling like other people are takers and we're not filled up. And that's really why there's such a fine balance, I feel, with giving and giving in a healthy way. So what is codependency? Does codependent giving really look like? So if a person is giving to another person in order to feel good about themselves on the inside, that is codependency. When the giving is really not about the other person, about what their needs are, about how we could give to them in the healthiest way, but it's really about the self, that is codependency. Now, how does a person develop codependency? When a person was not given unconditional love and unconditional validation as a child, what happens is the person then gives to others and has this unhealthy connection to others in order to fill themselves up with this self-love and sense of worthiness that they never got from on the inside. And therefore, their giving is really not about the other person. Their giving is really about the self. They're giving from a place of control. They're giving from a place of what they can really get out from the other person, even if it just means filling themselves up on the inside to make themselves feel good about themselves. In essence, it's really not about the other person. So narcissism, when we think about narcissism, really narcissism is about people. Narcissistic personalities are takers, right? They're all about the self, about making themselves feel all powerful and putting down other people in order to feel more powerful. But codependency is actually narcissistic, because codependent people in essence are really giving for the self. They're not giving for the other person. Now, I want to give some examples so we can make this more real and more understandable. I was speaking to someone who has what they said, a very good relationship with their family, and their family is very giving to them financially. They give to them money every single month, but they also decide exactly how this person, now this person is an adult, so they decide how this person is going to spend their money. They decided what career this person should have, where they should live, exactly how they're spending this money. And the person was like, I'm so not feeling good about it. Like, they're older, they wanted to make career choices that were not validated by their family, and they chose something that they totally didn't want to do. And I said to them that taking from people like that is so unhealthy, because really they're not giving. They're giving from a place of codependency. They're giving from a place of control. They want to really control you. Now, yes, they're giving. So on the surface, it's like, wow, these are amazing parents. They're giving so much of themselves. But at the same time, underneath that giving, there was such a sense of control and so many expectations that were tied into it that's why she was really feeling this sense of like, it's unhealthy. There was like an unhealthy dynamic and an unhealthy relationship with it. Now, for myself, in my journey really in healing from codependency, I realized that, and this has been a real long journey for me in codependency and codependent healing, was that a lot of times I was giving to others from a place, again, of a lack of self-love and self-respect, and a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem that I didn't have and that I was lacking. So, for example, I would have a lot of guests for Shabbos. For many, many, many years, I had Friday night and Shabbos day. I had a full table full of guests. And one day, as I started really learning more about codependency and healing from codependency and learning about healthy giving and healthy chesed Kabbalistically, I realized that as much as I loved having guests, there was a part of it that was super draining for me, because I was having guests from a place, in a sense that it made me feel good about myself. Like, wow, I was this woman that had a table full of guests and was so giving and had such a great, you could say almost a reputation because of it. And really, really, it wasn't coming from a healthy place. And what did I do? I had to totally stop giving for a long time. I really cut down on the guests. And then as this process of healing from codependency happened, and now I can go back to having guests, but I know when I need to take a break. I know when it's too much for me. I know how to take help when I need it. And I know how to give from a place where I'm filled up and I'm really giving from a place of overflowing. Now, sometimes as a mother, again, we can't always be giving from this place. Like, sometimes we just have to give, right? Like, we could be exhausted, but dinner has to be on the table and laundry has to be done. But as a whole, as a woman, I'm so into empowering women to take care of themselves and have self-care and really build ourselves up on the inside so that we're filling ourselves up, so our giving is coming from a place of fullness, and that in that way we don't feel exhausted, depleted, and our giving is really not coming from a codependent place, and really it's coming from a healthy place. So looking forward to sharing more about this topic. I think it's a huge, huge, huge topic, and again, especially for women, where so much of our lives is about giving to our family, to others, and really to look at signs and to start noticing, like, where is our giving coming from, and how we can fill ourselves up so that we're giving more from a healthy place and a godly place and a rectified place within ourselves, and a healed place within ourselves is so huge and so important. So if you haven't yet, put your email in the comment section below, because I'm creating courses on through the Sfirot, on healing through the Sfirot, and I'll send you notifications when it's out, and you can also give me your email, and I will send you my monthly newsletter, excuse me. Sending you all many blessings for a beautiful, beautiful day, stepping into healthy, wholesome, rectified, holy giving. Have a beautiful day.